Writing Task 1, today's question. The graph below gives information on the numbers of participants for different activities at one social center in Melbourne, Australia, for the period 2000 to 2020. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features, and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. Let's start its writing. I'm going to write its answer in 4 paragraphs. First, introduction. 1. Paraphrase the question. Rewrite the original prompt using synonyms and different sentence structures to avoid copying word for word. 2. Mention what the graph shows, time period, and units. What the graph shows, the main subject or topic, time period, the specific years or dates covered. Units. How the data is measured, for example, percentages, millions of dollars, kilograms. Answer. The line graph illustrates the number of participants engaged in 5 different activities: film club, martial arts, amateur dramatics, table tennis, and musical performances at a social center in Melbourne, Australia from 2000 to 2020. Second, overview, most important part. 1. Summarize the main trends, highest, lowest, biggest changes. Identify main trends. Focus on the highest points, lowest points, and the most significant changes. 2. Do not include numbers. No numbers. Avoid including specific data points or figures. Keep the summary qualitative rather than quantitative. Answer. Overall, the film club remained the most popular activity throughout the period, while table tennis showed the most significant growth. Meanwhile, amateur dramatics experienced a sharp decline, and musical performances, starting with no participants, grew steadily over time. Third body paragraph, 1 first trend and major comparisons. 1. Describe one major trend using numbers. Identify a primary pattern in the data and support it with specific numbers, figures. 2. Compare the most significant changes. Highlight and contrast the most notable shifts or differences within that trend. Answer. Looking in detail, the film club started with about 65 participants in 2000 and held a steady level, ending slightly higher at around 67 in 2020. Martial arts participation fluctuated modestly, dipping from 37 in 2000 to 32 in 2005, then gradually rising back to 37 by 2020. Amateur dramatics, after peaking near 28 in 2005, fell dramatically to just 6 participants by the end of the period. Fourth body paragraph, 2 remaining trends and key insights. 1. Highlight fluctuations, stability, or slower trends. Focus on secondary trends such as fluctuations, ups and downs in data, stability, periods where little to no change occurred. Slower trends, gradual increases or decreases. 2. End with an important observation. Conclude the paragraph with a significant observation or a key insight that summarizes the overall data pattern. Answer. In contrast, table tennis began with 16 participants in 2000 and remained stable at 20 until 2010 before surging sharply to 54 by 2020, surpassing several other activities. Musical performances started with no participants for the first 5 years, but then increased steadily, reaching 18 participants in 2020.